with me because what I loved about it, it was really about humanity. Yes, it's about this huge spectacle of a comet to hit the Earth, be the next extinction event on the planet Earth, but really it was a look at humanity from the inside out and about this family who are in turmoil and in crisis themselves, trying to find their sea legs again in a marriage that is failing, trying to atone and solidify the family relationship with their 7-year-old son. And then this cataclysmic event happens that puts them on the run of them refinding their love and refinding each other. And at the core, though, what I loved about Greenland as a concept is it was really about how we test ourselves when it's about life or death and the things of struggle that we face. Will we become selfless or will we become selfish? You know, and our own and face our own fears and what we're capable of. If you look at the movies that I've done in the past, they're always about morality. They're always about the gray of humanity. They're never black and white stories. They're about a protagonist or even sometimes the antagonist being pushed to a point of no reverse. They either have to make a decision to go left or to go right, and both have consequences. And those are the things that excite me, and that is what Greenland is full of, is when it's life or death, will we help each other and rise to the occasion, or will we become selfish and be capable of heinous things that we would never think our own moral compass would be capable of. I love the structure of this movie because it's not your typical disaster movie. Instead of worrying about this big monster that's about to come hit the Earth, we actually open the movie with a family that's in crisis. We find out Gerard Butler's character and Morena Baccarin's character are very close to divorce. He's moving back into the house for the first time in 6 months. They have a little boy that's 7 years old, and they think they have all the time in the world to find their love again and to find atonement for their family. In the meantime, there's this comet, Clark, that is going to be the closest flyby in history of planet Earth. And everybody sees it as the next Super Bowl event. They're going to have watch parties. People are excited. So as we see this beautiful thing transpire through the first act of the movie, the real crux of the story is actually the crisis of this family trying to find their sea legs again and to atone and come back together as one, until suddenly this thing that's supposed to be this beautiful shiny thing that's going to fly by the Earth actually starts to enter the atmosphere and starts hitting the Earth in fragments and causing massive devastation. And suddenly it becomes this family going on the run to seek shelter and save themselves, but also encounter all of these people along the way who are also trying to find safety. When we started researching comets and asteroids and other extraterrestrial things that are out there in the universe, we found out that a lot of times these things will start as a single body, but they'll hit other things along the way in their orbits and suddenly break into hundreds, if not thousands, of fragments. And it was a really cool way to have this comet where they at first think it's a single body, but not. It's actually made up of hundreds of fragments that suddenly get sucked into the Earth's orbit and suddenly start pelting the Earth at any given time. So as our family is trying to seek safety and get to Greenland and to this bunker, you constantly have things that hit the Earth. So you get this excitement and this big visceral thrill ride all the way through the movie versus waiting for this impact to happen at the very end. The interesting thing about Greenland is I really see it as a monster movie. You know, Clark as this comet that at first is supposed to be this beautiful shiny thing that's going to fly by Earth, the closest and ever in history. Everybody's having Super Bowl parties until they realize things change trajectory and it starts to enter the atmosphere and starts to pelt the Earth in fragments, that the monster is here and now it's this thing that they're running from. But what's really interesting about the storyline, and I loved about the script, is there's really two monsters in the movie. It's not only the monster Clark, but it's humanity itself. Very much of what we're going through in this pandemic right now, where suddenly it's about what will humanity do? Will we turn on each other or will we help each other in need? And I love stories like that. I love stories that test people's morality, that move into the gray of society of what am I capable of for survival? How far would I go? Both Gerard Butler's character, and Morena Baccarin's character are tested in this way, and they encounter people that are normal, everyday human beings who are also trying to save themselves, that you wonder, are they going to do the right thing and act selfless and help our family, or are they going to do heinous things that they wouldn't even think were conscionable before they're put into a life or death situation? So for me, what I love about Greenland is you get two monsters in one. You get this big visceral movie of a comet pelting the earth and the devastation that happens with that. But you also have humanity itself. Will we become the monster, or will we actually become the savior to our own selves? There's some really great themes in this movie about atonement and redemption. Gerard Butler's character has a secret, of something that happened in this marriage, and something that he is trying to atone for and to and find redemption for, and also living up to his own failures, or what he deems as failures, as a man and as a husband and as a father. And so there's this sense of duty and this sense of self-redemption to find safety for his family, to do the right thing, to be the leader that he should for his family, to be that rock that he always wanted to be. And I love that, because one of the things that, look, this is the second movie I've done with Gerry Butler after Angel Has Fallen. And what I love about Gerry is, yes, he's an amazing movie star that is known to be the action hero, known to be the guy in 300, to be Mike Banning in the Has Fallen franchise that I'm very grateful to be now a part of. But John Garrity is a mortal human being. He represents us. And that's what I love about Gerry, is Gerry has a vulnerability and a sensitivity to him as a man that I think is part of our own masculinity. And he can bring that to the table in a way where he's not afraid to show a character that is dealing with real flaws, real trauma, real atonement of things that he wants to find his own redemption for. And so you get this really honest portrayal of a human being that we can identify to, that we feel relatable to us, through the eyes of Gerry Butler playing this guy, John Garrity.